Everyone hears the greeting, but few men hear the truth, hiding inside it. She says hi. That's all, nothing grand. No dramatic smile, no obvious compliment, just one syllable. But something inside, it stirs the room. A softness in her tone, a slowness in the timing. Like her voice has been dipped in velvet before it reached your ears, and you miss it. You smile politely, maybe nod, maybe greet her back casually, unaware that what you just heard wasn't a greeting. It was revelation, because here's what most men never realize. Women don't announce attraction the way men do. They suggest it, not through direct praise, but through rhythm, tone, and pacing. A woman's attraction isn't declared, it's draped over her words, like perfume. Subtle, lingering, unforgettable, if you're awake to it. Her hi isn't just hello. It's I noticed something. It's I felt a presence. It's I wasn't expecting that. And if you're the type of man who's grown into his face, his calm, his gravitas, she feels it before she processes it. Her body reacts before her mind constructs a reason. Why? Welcome to Swick Edge, the only place where we decode the emotional signals most men walk past blind. Let's break this down. She looks, then speaks. That sequence matters more than you realize. There's a flicker in her glance, a barely there pause. Half a second, maybe less. But it's everything. Because she didn't just glance at you out of politeness. She scanned you for emotional resonance. She's not checking your shoes or your shirt. She's checking your state. Are you grounded? Are you calm? Are you in yourself? And in that split second of suspended air, she's asking a question without words. Do you even know how visible you are right now? Most men destroy this moment. They either look away to fit of awkwardness, or they stare too long, like deer caught in the warmth of female attention. Both break the spell, the move. Neither chase nor retreat. Just notice it. Hold the glance for a breath and return it, with silence. No smirk, no head tilt. Just presence. You're not reacting, you're witnessing. And when you do this right, her nervous system feels it before her lips move, because you didn't flinch. And that, to her, is rare. You weren't impressed. You weren't needy. You were just there. And to a woman tuned into real presence, that's thunder. You ask her something simple. How's your day? And what comes back isn't just a reply, it's a change in atmosphere. Her voice drops half a note. Her pace slows. Her vowels stretch. She's not whispering. She's recalibrating. She's speaking in a frequency meant for one set of ears. This isn't about shyness. This isn't performance. This is instinct. Women lower their vocal tone around men they find attractive not because they plan it, but because their biology prepares for deeper connection. It's a subtle invitation into her emotional field. Most men don't hear it. They mistake it for politeness, but those who listen beyond the words, those who hear texture know this truth. When she lowers her voice, she's raising her intimacy. What should you do? Not much. Don't meet her softness with a joke. Don't break the stillness with volume. Instead, meet her tone with grounded resonance. Speak slowly. Speak from your chest, not your throat. Let your words drop like stones in still water. Not to impress, but to match. Because when your voice carries calm instead of need, she leans in. Not just physically, but psychologically. And she starts wondering, why does it feel different when I talk to him? That question isn't flirtation. It's the beginning of fascination. You've seen the forced smile. Everyone has. The type people flash. In job interviews, office elevators, family gatherings. It's closed. It's polite. It's thin-lipped and predictable. But what if I told you real interest doesn't start in the mouth? It starts in the eyes. It's called a Duchenne smile, named after the scientist who first mapped the difference. A real smile involves involuntary eye muscles. Her eyes narrow, her cheeks lift, her pupils dilate, her eyebrows soften. It's a cascade of cues, none of which can be faked for long. And when a woman smiles at you, This wait means one thing. You changed her emotional state without touching her. She didn't plan the smile. It happened because your presence or vibe shifted something inside her. Play this scene in your head. You walk into a room not loud, not showy, just settled. She looks up, something flickers in her eyes before her lips move. She smiles. That wasn't small talk. That was a silent, emotional response. And when a woman's nervous system responds to you before her mouth does, you've already been felt. Most men misread this. They think it's friendliness. They deflect it. They dismiss it. But the masculine man knows. He nods. He sees the smile for what it is, not an invitation, but an acknowledgement. He didn't entertain her. He impacted her. You say, "Hi, I'm Mark." She responds, "Nice to meet you, Mark." 5 seconds later, she says it again. And you wonder why it sounded deliberate. Because it was, using someone's name. Early and deliberately is a psychological tool, one that women use when they want to personalize the moment. It takes the interaction out of the generic and into the intimate. She's saying, "I heard you, I remembered you, I'm placing you." And when done with warmth, not manipulation, it has one purpose: to make you feel chosen. Don't overreact. Don't repeat her name 20 times trying to match the energy. Just hold space for it. Let her say it. Let it land. Maybe say hers once, with sincerity. Later in the interaction, because when your name is repeated with intention, it means you're no longer just a man, you're a character in her mind, and characters, they don't disappear easily. You walk into the room, no spotlight, no peacocking. She sees you and says, "Someone's looking sharp today." It sounds like banter, but it's loaded. Because women rarely compliment men, casually, especially men, they actually find attractive. Why? Because true admiration is vulnerable. So, when a woman hides her compliment inside a joke or a greeting, she's doing emotional judo. She's testing your comfort with being recognized. The average man shrugs it off. This, just something I threw on. Wrong move. That response isn't humility, it's discomfort. The better move. Except say, "Appreciate that." Say nothing, but hold eye contact with quiet poise. Because here's the truth. Most men avoid. A man who can receive attention without flinching is a man who radiates internal worth. And that's rarer than you think. Picture this. You're crossing the room. She sees you, and in the split second before your paths intersect, she subtly adjusts something. Her hair, her blouse, her jacket, her posture. Not 5 minutes ago. Not as a nervous tick. Right before she enters your energy field. That gesture. That single physical correction. It's not accidental. It's preparation. She's not fixing for appearance. She's fine-tuning her presence. This is not fidgeting. It's a psychological response, rooted in ancient biology and silent seduction. A woman will calibrate her body language the moment she knows she's about to be seen by a man she wants to be seen by. Her hand might rise to her collar. Her hips might recenter. Her chin might lift slightly. But don't mistake this for insecurity. This is presentation mode, and here's where most men get it wrong. They either don't notice it or they comment on it. New hairstyle, looking fancy today. No, you don't call out the magician while she's setting the stage. You let the spell unfold. The correct response? Stillness. You acknowledge her effort without making it a scene. You don't chase it. You don't ignore it. You match it with grounded energy. And let her feel seen instead of being put on display. And that's a moment she replay in her head, far longer than the greeting itself, because you didn't react, you recognized. And to a woman drawn to emotional intelligence, that's not just attractive, it's captivating. It starts with a simple, "Hey," you nod. You expect her to walk away, but she doesn't. Instead, she lingers, adds a comment, maybe a question. Something casual like, "That's a great watch, what brand is it?" or so. "What's a guy like you doing here this early?" It's not the words, it's the intent inside the extension. Because she could have walked away. She didn't need to keep talking, but she chose to stretch the moment. And that stretch, that's not randomness. That's curiosity, disguised as small talk. Here's the key. She's not just making conversation. She's testing the space between your presence and hers. She's seeing if you hold her attention the way you held her gaze. This is her inviting you into an unscripted moment, without handing you control. And the high-value man knows you don't rush these moments. You let them breathe. You don't force rapport. You don't jump into over talk. You don't drop lines from a pickup playbook. You match her tempo. You hold the pause. If she's comfortable in your stillness, she'll continue. If she's drawn to your energy, she'll stay in the frame. And here's where attraction lives, not in intensity, but in tension. Bonus sign. Her greeting echoes your exact energy. You say, "Good morning." She replies, "Good morning," with the same tone, the same timing, even the same micro-expression. That's not coincidence. That's mirroring. And mirroring is the body's unconscious way of saying, "I feel safe here. I feel resonance. I want to synchronize." When someone mirrors your posture, your pace, or your rhythm, especially during a greeting, it means they're Sue.